Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I would like to thank the committee of Msceis 2021 and also to the moderator for the opportunity to present in this conference. The title of my presentation is The Design of Thermochemistry Practical Work Using Virtual Laboratory. This is a collaborative work between some lecturers of Chemistry Education Department, Universitas Pendidikan Indonesia, with teacher from Albina Islamic High School. My name is Galuh Yuliani, and I will be the presenter. So we all know that there are some professional competencies expected from chemistry teachers, and these include being creative and innovative in implementing and developing chemistry as a field of study, mastering the basic principles of occupational health and safety instruction in school laboratory, designing experiment for learning and research purposes, and then conducting chemistry laboratory works. So it is clear that the chemistry teachers are expected to be able to design experiments for learning and then to conduct chemistry laboratory works. However, there is some obstacles in terms of the expectation. So we all know the importance of laboratory activity. Laboratory activities in chemistry facilitate student inquiry based on actual learning experiences using chemicals and various practical methods. Laboratory activities also allow students to experience how scientists themselves construct new knowledge. However, during the COVID-19 pandemic, teachers have very limited access to school laboratories during lockdowns. We can offer alternatives by creating new laboratory environment as an alternative media where students can still conduct practical works virtually, observe various chemical processes, and able to change various variables and see how this changing in the variables can change the experiment result. And for all of these experiences, virtual laboratory can be the solution. So virtual laboratories serve as an ideal alternative that could facilitate different aspects of minds-on activities usually occur during practical works. And the virtual laboratory may also be adapted to different student learning styles. It is highly flexible in terms of time and place, and then it may facilitate an open-ended environment to assist student inquiry. So the objective of this study first is to capture the profile of teachers' performance in conducting practical chemistry using virtual laboratory, and second, designing thermochemistry practical work using virtual laboratory. So for the first objective, we have conducted survey to 251 chemistry teachers. And amongst these 251 chemistry teachers, 65% of these teachers having above 10 years teaching experience. That means that these teachers are professional and senior chemistry, chemistry teachers. So we asked them the frequency of practical works that they have conducted in chemistry learning before and after COVID-19 pandemic. It's shown in the diagram that almost half of the teachers conducted 3 to 5 times of practical works a year. Some even conducted 5 to 8 times a year, and some also conducted more than 8 times a year, which is a very good number. However, during the pandemic, the frequency has dropped to 1 to 2 times a year for 79% of chemistry teachers. And only 16% of them conducted 3 to 5 times a year, and less than 5% conducted more than 5 times a year. That means there are a drop in frequency and quantity of practical activity during pandemic of COVID-19. And then the second question, we also asked the teacher, have you ever used virtual laboratory when teaching chemistry? And 77% of the teacher answered no, they have not used virtual laboratory in teaching chemistry. And only 23% of them say that they have used virtual laboratory in chemistry teaching. The reason of why they haven't used a virtual laboratory is they don't know how to access the virtual laboratory in the web. And then some of them consider virtual laboratory to be difficult to be implemented. And then some have a problem with the language of the virtual laboratory because most of the online virtual laboratory use English as instruction. Some teachers also complain about the internet connectivity and facilities. However, I don't think the internet connectivity and facilities should be a big problem because currently during the COVID-19 pandemic, most of the chemistry learning are conducted online, relying on the internet connectivity and facilities. So for the second objective, the designing of the thermochemistry practical work using virtual laboratory, we also have conducted a preliminary survey to ask a teacher about the laboratory instruction style that they frequently use in class. Most of the teachers answer demonstration, observation, and practice. All of this belongs to the expository instruction style. What is expository instruction styles? The expository instruction style is the one where the outcome is already predetermined. The procedure is given by the teacher, and then the approach is deductive. This means that the teacher already stated the step-by-step instruction in the laboratory instruction, and then there are even some expected answer that is provided to the students. That means the student just simply follow the instruction, which is also called a cookbook. Domain mentioned other instruction styles such as inquiry, discovery, and problem-based. With inquiry and problem-based, the student needs to generate their own procedure, which is sometimes difficult for our students. But with the discovery, the outcome is actually predetermined, and then the procedure is also given by the teacher, similar to the expository. The difference is in the approach. The approach is inductive. In the inductive approach, the students are actually doing activities, and then they, in the end, conclude by themselves what is the take-home message, or what is the concept that they already get from all of these activities. So this means that the student discover the concept themselves, discover the conclusion themselves, and the teacher probing the student with questions in the instruction, laboratory instruction, to help the student to get to the correct answer. So this is the instruction styles that we will employ in our laboratory instruction styles. So the subject that is used in this virtual laboratory is thermochemistry, and the topic is calorimetry. Calorimetry is a fundamental concept in chemistry that requires specific apparatus design. So mostly the school has this typical constant pressure calorimeter known as the coffee cup calorimeter or simple calorimeter. But in the virtual laboratory, we use the ideal constant pressure calorimeter. So this simulation is actually developed by the Pearson UK Education. So with this simulation, teacher can explore various subjects in thermochemistry, such as application of first law of thermodynamics, how to calculate heat circulates during the physical and chemical processes, and then how to calculate enthalpy of the reaction. But there is also additional feature that is quite impressive in this simulation, is there is some microscopic representation on the ongoing process. So that means using this simulation, student can have a link between the observable macroscopic phenomena with the unseen submicroscopic level. So this is a very good addition for student learning. And this is the example of the design of student worksheet. As you can see, there are some guiding questions leading to the conclusion that will be made by the student in the discovery instruction style. And then this student worksheet has been distributed to over 200 chemistry teachers all over Indonesia. And by the end of this month, or probably early November, we will have a meeting with these teachers and asking them about their experience using this student worksheet and using the virtual laboratory in teaching calorimetry. And hopefully we can understand how the student or teacher can benefit from this virtual laboratory and the student worksheet that has been provided. So that's all my presentation. Thank you so much for listening. And if you have any further questions, I will be very happy to answer it. Thank you so much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.